Hey guys, how's it going? I guess this will be February's monthly vlog. I don't know if we've got a better name for it or not, so we'll just call it February's monthly vlog. Do-do-do-do-do. I really hope whoever's editing that does like the wee Superman like comic book spin thing and comes up with a wee jingle, but I know they won't. So anyway, February's monthly vlog. This month so far we have been packing up the studio room that we're in. We are going to move to a new studio, a much better, cleaner, bigger room that actually has heating in it. Heating, can you imagine that? A pure luxury heating. And it's also got internet, which our old room didn't. Like, our old room actually, it was really bad in comparison to this one. We've also been looking at locations and video concepts for a new V6 Year Silence single that's coming out soon. As soon as the video is done, that will be getting put out. And we have been we've been talking to promoters and venues all up and down the UK to try and book in shows for a wee tour we're putting together in the second half of the year. So that will probably commence from like June, July onwards. But other than all that, we have obviously been in, still recording, still writing and prepping for this live show that we've got coming up in the Cathouse on the 24th of May, which you should all definitely buy a ticket to. But the highlight, like the real highlight for me for the month of February has been finally hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram. Like, it's taking its time, but we finally got there. So thank you. As much as it's already been said and it's already been posted, thank you like for me for taking 2 seconds out your day. Like, it's such a surreal thing to have people actually take time to like listen to you and watch your stuff, like actually want to interact, like comment and message and that. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's cool. Do you know what I mean? But I think there's 2 things that we found through like the majority of messages and comments and that always pop up again and again, and that is, how did the band start and how did you get your name? And so I'm going to delve a wee bit into that. So the band started is essentially, just to keep it short, as a jam band. You know what I mean? Ian played drums in a band at the time, had a few guitar riffs and wanted to explore them, and he started a wee side project with a couple of guys and Johnny. And it was just a jam band for years, man. I was in a band at the time that had unfortunately dissolved. We were doing alright, but it wasn't meant to be. And with the end of that, I stepped away from music for a few years, and then I was just talking to Johnny one day. So me and Johnny have been pals since we were like 18, 19 years old. We actually worked together for years as well. And I'd said to him, like, do you know when I'm looking for a bass player? And he was just like, leave it with me. And then within a week I was in auditioning and obviously got the gig. And then that's how I came to be involved in the jam band. Then a few months later we decided to put on a gig. So originally the band was called Uproar, which well, actually it got called all sorts of things. Upsnore was one of the better ones, so thank you to whoever said that. I said we read, or we try to read every comment or message or whatever, and seen that, and it's obviously stuck with us. You know what I mean? Through all the years. Started as Uproar, booked a gig, and then the band just kind of started getting a wee bit bigger and bigger and bigger for there. So it became past the point of your usual, your mum and your dad, your aunties, uncles, like your cousins, your friends for work and that coming to gig. Like, there was actual people outside our own wee circles who were interested. I mean, and the band started getting bigger and bigger. We started trying to book more and more gigs, as you do. And then we found that the name Uproar held us back. But there's so many things out there called Uproar. You know what I mean? There's like club nights, festivals, and there's even like a DJ dancing up here. And it would get to the stage we'd like phone up venues and be like, we're looking for a gig, never thinking that we were some punk band from 1980 called Uproar. And it got to the point we were just like, we need to change this. We looked at everything that I guess individuals do, and it could be anything from like song lyrics to song titles to album names and whatever. And for some reason, the one that resonated with us the most at the time was by a band called Dark New Day, and it was called 12 Years Silence. Now, obviously, yous won't know this, but Johnny is like mad creative, and instantly his head just started like exploding and all that, and he was like, no, can't call it that. It's got to be something more symmetrical. And just in his head, like changing it from 12-year silence, or the possibility of 12-year silence, to 6-year silence, it worked so much better in his creative mind for branding, logoing, and everything else. And that's like the simple thing. It was meant to be like, I guess, like a one or two one-off jams evolved into more of a thing, and then a name that we all kind of liked just got changed ever so slightly. And I wish there was like a bigger, more interesting story, but that is essentially how it started and how we got our name. But I think like the ironic bit about it is when we changed the name 6 Year Silence, the band was like 6 years in at that point. So it was kind of like giving us like a fresh lease of life. Like everything that was done before that point was then like irrelevant. That was like our new marker for when we started properly. And that's been us ever since. And then we got Greg in. He played guitar as well, man. And it's also been the best iteration of the band in terms of creativity. And that's not to put a slight on like everybody else. Everybody that's been in the band, they've been amazing musicians, do you know what I mean? And blessed to have like played with them in that. But there's just something magical about you, Greg, being in. Just the way he hears things and play things and all that. But that's it. That's how the band started and the name came about. And obviously I wanted to include my boy Greg at the end there. So I just want to once again say thank you very much to everybody that has signed up to the mailing list, bought tickets to the gigs coming up. It's taking time out of their day, like I said, to like or comment or whatever. Like, you truly don't know how much it means to us. We are in the midst of hopefully getting the keys to move into this studio over the next week, and then once we get them and we're moved in, I'm sure you'll see more posts and more things for us. Peace.